Welcome to Comfort Africa number 2 and Instagram. So we're going to do yellow chain work first, and then we're going to do commas and commas as tampas. Alright? Then I may adjust you guys and go over here and do the tree technique so that you can get another understanding of that, and that's going to be a third video or another video in general. So let's get to it. As I tell you guys before, you know, long range is good for long range. Out here in the wilderness, long range is great. But just as you get an emphasis on how long this is, that's wrapped around a tree, it's pretty long. You know, it's at least 10 feet, maybe 9.5 at best. Now understand that when you are working this chain, though it is plastic, that does not make it any less dangerous to you or your opponent. So, control frenzy is great. You also need to know the distance between you and your opponent. Now, at long range, that can happen. That can also happen. I'm having a rough day. In fact, this whole week has started off pretty bland. Alright, so if you weren't watching last night, we'll give you the recap. So short in control, if I want it to be super short in control, I only want one wrap, so it'll be like this, boom, boom, and I still have slight control. Now I want total control. We don't want this. We want it here. We wrap this hand so that it's short. Boom, boom. Understand? That did not go the way it was supposed to. So what it should have done was here and there. So if someone's running at you, boom, boom. 9 times out of 10, boom, boom. Alright, so because you're going to only have to really strike somebody with a chain once. And if it bounces back after it hits them, it's going to probably come right at you. So you need to have control of it. Boom. And that way you can follow through. Boom. And get it over here. But if the guy is falling in this direction because you hit him this way, you want to be able to throw your knee into the person so you can slow them down and regain control of your chain. But 9 times out of 10, they're coming at you. And they walk into this. I'm pretty sure that one hit's probably going to stop them. Now, learning how to control that stop so that it doesn't hit you in the crotch. Luckily for me, I adjust to the right. So, here, as you can see, there's no room, no control, or control. Learning how that thing's coming. The tree's in my way. So sometimes how you get your landing, as you saw here, we'll generally get the chain to wrap around so that it doesn't hit you there. Yeah, you don't want to get hit in your spot. God knows it's going to hurt. So here, wrap, coming over, so I can catch. You have to know the trajectory. Going there, that crane block can give you control. Bam! Understand? So guys coming at you, bam! Bam! Still have control of the chain. Understand? When this thing hits you, it's going to hurt. Knowing how to block yourself, control, so that you don't fuck yourself up. Understand how that works? Let's get into the commas now. Alright, so as you all know, these are wooden. They are for practice. You're still just as dangerous because if you are a true martial artist, anything that you touch should be able to exuberate or accelerate your skill level. All right? This is silver tape, just in case you wanted to know. Now remember, this is a don't. In the middle of a fight, you're not going to do this. Okay? You're going to keep that shit stationary in the upward position. It's block, strike, strike, block, strike, strike. You're going to do those. All right? You're not going to do this as you do that. Because if you throw a kick and that, you're probably going to impale yourself. And what you just see me do there, you're not going to do that. In a real fight, you're never going to get the chance. If you're using these, you're close range quarters, which means you're right up on your opponent. If you're not, you have a fighting chance, but these are close range weapons, just like nunchucks. You have to have some stability of getting in. So boom, 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 boom. You know, you're going to have to figure it out. You're never going to do that. So you're doing this. That's going to happen. You're going to impale your arm. Now you only have one. So what I just did, that was trickery. You're not going to get the chance to do that. You're going to lose an arm. Or more importantly, you're going to lose your life. If you're in the movies, see, I can't even hold it. Let's try it again. But if you're in the movies, and this looks cool, how many takes you're going to have to take on that? So why bother? Boom, boom, boom. Now for the movies. Boom. I think I did that slow enough so you guys see it. Boom, boom, boom. In real life, that blade will take your arm right out. So boom, boom, boom. That's not going to happen. It's going to be more like this. Boom, 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 boom. All right? Soup, 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 soup. Not that. See how it hit my arm? It's going to take your ass out. Boom, boom, boom. That? No. This? Yes. Keep that shit in your grip. Remember that 1,000 things that can go wrong before one thing goes right? Here's one that goes wrong. And if you've seen how this thing just hit my arm, in real life, if that was a blade, my arm would have been cut. I would have probably bled out because I would have hit an artery, and it would have been all she wrote. So again, for the movies, that's fine because it's a movie. For real life, that's it. This, not so much. You do not want your blade down where it can have that happen. This can get you killed. No. Practice commas are one thing. Real things are a whole different ballgame. You will never see me do that shit with real commas. Boom, 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 boom. No. Movie and video games. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Real life? Boom. Now, sometimes how you train is how you fight. So you don't want to do that. When you train, this shit might look cool, but that's what's going to happen, especially if you're using real commas. So if you want to train like this, slice, slice, a double slice up, that's fine, but you don't want to do this. Not saying that you can't do it, just saying that you shouldn't. Remember, blades cut. In case nobody has explained that shit to you, that if you don't have a problem losing a digit, knock yourself out. But I've warned you, that is a fucking no-no. You're doing this shit, that's fine, because you're not doing this shit, where you're trying to whirl it. As you can see what just happened. Yeah, that shit's gonna get you fucked up. Period. You're working with blades. They're on the end. Boom. That's pretty much it. Boom. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna keep that shit simple. Boom. You just killed someone. Boom, you just beheaded them. Boom, the other guy. Boom. release your blade. That's what you're gonna do. You're never gonna be doing this. It's not gonna happen. Back in the ancient world when they used to do fighting, I'm pretty sure that if this happened, you would catch it. Versus doing this, and then that. Again, not saying that you can't, saying that you shouldn't. Because in real life, who has time to watch your hands? You're fighting. Someone's fighting you back. This is training. Boom, boom. Block and strike. Block and strike. Block and strike. You understand? In real life, boom, gash, rip down. Gash, cut, rip down. You're not doing this shit. Boom, 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 boom. No. You're plucking it in, ripping it down. Strike, cut across. Block, jab, cut. Block, jab, cut. Or block, cut, cut. If they're wearing armor, you're going to have to jab this bitch in there. If they're in normal clothing, then it's probably going to be more block, cut, cut. Just to clarify that up for all the times that I didn't. Like I said, I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of not telling you about the 1,000 things that can go wrong before one thing goes right. I just made a prime example of my guilt. Because if they're wearing armor, and you block, you have to stab into that armor. These things are hooked for a reason. Boom. Rip. Now that it's ripped, punch, cut, cut. Or double rip, cut down, jab, then cut. You're going to figure out combos. They are not simple as they look. But you're also going to figure out that this can get you killed. Versus this. Boom, boom, fight's done. You want to be fancy? Boom, 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 boom. No. That last part of that is not something that you do. Now, if you go into a fight and you're going in like this, that's a different ballgame. So, block, gash. That's what that's for. Block, gash. You know, block, gash, gash. Now, you notice that it doesn't leave my hand. No, it doesn't pull a Raphael. It goes boom, boom, while I'm blocked. All right? So, block, strike, strike. Understand? It's not block, strike, and then strike. No, fuck that. It's not that at all. So again, this is correct. Boom, boom, boom. This is incorrect. Boom, 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 boom. And now you see what happens. You drop your damn weapon and you lose your life. Boom, boom, boom. Correct. Boom, boom, boom. Not correct. Hopefully I've cleared that up. So now we're going to use these as tanfas because time is running out. So as I said, in tanfa fighting as well, because now these are no longer combos, so I'm using them as tanfas because I don't have a pair. So, block, I swing out. Some people swing in. I am not comfortable with the swing in method because if you don't get full extension of your arm, you can hit your own rib and break it. Boom. So it's better to block and swing out. Now you will find out what works better for you. This is what works better for me. You can take this with a grain of salt, or you can take it for what it is, which is truth. Boom, 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 boom. Understand? Notice I blocked first. Block, strike, strike, and out. All right? Block. Now that way, because this leg doesn't work like the other leg. But we're going to attempt it anyway. Block, kick, kick, strike. All right? Block, kick, kick, strike. Block, kick, kick, strike. Now we're going to do the other way. From the this way. Block, kick, kick, strike. You don't get that full extension, you're going to hit. Going from this way, not likely to hit yourself. So again, inside to outside, outside to inside. All right? So here we go. Block, kick, kick. Understand how unnatural that feels to me? Now again, block, kick, kick from the outside. All right? Block, kick, kick, inside. Block, kick, outside. You will figure this out while you're training with them. Now with kamas, again, we're going back to kamas, even though I never stopped using them. I used them as tanfas a second ago. With kamas, block, boom, boom, versus block, and then that. See how my hands lost it? You don't want to do that. You want to keep that shit simple. Block, kick, kick, cut, cut. Not block, kick, kick, cut, and then cut. Went too far. Done too much. Stuff that wasn't necessary. Okay? So remember that that is one of the things you have to understand. And now, we're going to turn the angle of the cameras around, and I'm going to start a new video for YouTube as I just angle